Hey guys, so it's both a sad and a happy day because we're going to talk about the season finale of Sleepy Hollow, which was just mind-blowing last night. But I'm kind of bummed because I can't believe it's already time for the freaking season finale. And that kind of sucks. First of all, I was super excited, right? Because I thought this was going to be like a 2-hour Sleepy Hollow movie / season finale event, when really they just kind of took 2 episodes and shoved them together. Now, don't get me wrong, both episodes were really, really good, but it would have been really cool if they had actually done like this 2-hour long cohesive movie. That would have been really cool. So who knows, maybe they'll do that in the future. So the first half of this season finale was all about Abby and Ichabod figuring out what the clue in George Washington's Bible meant. Turns out that when they followed the breadcrumb trail of clues, they ended up finding this map. This whole portion of the season finale was very kind of like National Treasury, which is not a bad thing. I loved the whole bit about zombie George Washington and the fact that George Washington raised from the dead after he died so that he could hide this map and that his body was hidden somewhere. I mean, that was all super, super cool. Let's talk about Andy because he was in these episodes. You guys, I love Andy. I know he's kind of stalker, creepy, weird, but I just love his character and I really do think he does love Abby or has kind of secretly been in love with her, but obviously he's made some not so good life choices. And he's chosen evil, which has not been so great for him. He comes to her and again kind of tells her, don't look for the map. Moloch needs the map. Just leave the map alone. And he's got this kind of struggle going on where it's part of him really wants to help Abby, but then he's also kind of really compelled to do whatever Moloch tells him to do. By the end of the episode, Andy gets transformed into some super demon, which was kind of crazy. And they made it seem like maybe possibly he's dead, but they didn't really kind of solidify that. So I'm fingers crossed, you guys, that we're going to be seeing Sheriff Andy again sometime soon. I think my favorite part of that first episode was the really kind of touching scene between Abby and Crane towards the end of the episode. They finally do find the map and he ends up burning it to really show her, I would never betray you. Let's just go ahead and get rid of this. If this is going to be something that Moloch can use to destroy the world, then I'm willing to kind of sacrifice my wife for that. Of course, the whole prophecy, played a big role in both of the episodes. Will Ichabod betray Abby? Will he turn her over to Moloch? And so, in that first episode when he burned the map, it was really symbolic of him kind of saying, I would never do that. And it was a really touching scene between the two of them. As we transition into kind of the second part of the season finale, we see Captain Irving and his family, and we kind of get that they're in a bit of trouble. Basically, they think Macy killed the pastor, which technically she did, but I guess you can't really use the I was possessed by a demon defense in most cases. And so by the end of the second episode, Captain Irving confesses. He does that to protect his daughter, which you totally saw coming. And you see him kind of get shackled and led away. And that's really where we see his character headed as the season finale closes. So what's going to happen to Captain Irving? I have no idea, but here's hoping that he looks good in orange. So the second half of the season's finale was freaking epic, you guys, right? So at the beginning, we get, that Ichabod can remember anything he's looked at. He saw this map before he burned it. And so, of course, we see him kind of drawing the map out, which really kind of negates the whole, moment where he burned the map and that whole symbolism of I will never betray you. That really kind of cancels that out. So the Sin Eater shows back up because he has a dream. And in the dream, he sees that Moloch is going to raise another one of the horsemen. And so he comes to tell Ichabod and Abby. Basically, the only plan they could come up with is that they have to go get Katrina out of purgatory, because that's what this map is that they've been looking for. It's a map to purgatory. They figure if they can get Katrina out of purgatory, she can come back and do a spell that will stop the horsemen from raising. Purgatory was really crazy, and Henry kind of warns them before they go in that things will seem really real and that they can't buy into that fantasy. They could basically be trapped there forever. They find Katrina, and it turns out that she can't leave unless somebody else stays in her place. Are you kidding me? I was seriously just kind of kick rocks, Katrina. Sorry, kid. We'll see you later. Bye. No! At first, Ichabod tries to do it, but then Abby kind of realizes, I'm the one who needs to do it. I really need to stay and face Moloch. blah, blah, blah. And so in the end, the prophecy really comes true because Ichabod does hand Abby over to Moloch by leaving her there. And so let's talk about the big kicker at the end. Ichabod and Katrina come back from purgatory. Their goal is to do the binding spell and then figure out how to go back and get Abby. But that does not happen. And let me tell you why. Because it turns out that Henry is a bad guy. So it turns out that Henry is the next horseman. Henry is war, which was mind-boggling enough, right? So you're thinking like, oh my gosh, like he's the horseman. He's been hanging out with us for a while. Who knew? And then he drops the serious like nuclear bomb, you guys, and tells Katrina and Ichabod that they're his parents. What? So it turns out that Henry is really Jeremy, and so he's kind of pissed at his parents for abandoning him and for all of the crap he's been through. And he feels extremely loyal to Moloch because Moloch is the one who came to save him. And so he really kind of hands his parents over. We see Katrina get taken off by the Headless Horseman, and then we see Jeremy/Henry put his father, Ichabod, into a grave and bury him alive. Meanwhile, Jenny's gotten into an accident when she realizes that Henry's the bad guy and she's trying to race back to tell them. And so we basically see all of the characters that we love in extreme peril. It was crazy, you guys. I seriously, when he called her mother, it took my mind a few seconds to like grasp onto what he was saying. And then I just started screaming. I was just like, what? What the? I was so shocked. I mean, like, I think it's been a long time since the show has gotten me that good. I mean, I was like super not expecting that. I have absolutely loved this show this season, you guys. I've done reviews on almost all of the episodes. So if you want to check some of those out, I'm going to throw up a link on your screen. Also, you guys, don't forget to subscribe. And most importantly, do not forget to tell me what you thought about the season finale and of that humongo cliffhanger. Wowza. Okay, guys, as always, thanks so much for watching and for commenting, and love you guys. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.